What's going on YouTube? It's Pico.Blurred back again with another video. I'm going to be showing you guys how to tackle the top of the head with some shear work. Super simple. Hopefully I can get it close enough to where you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. You're going to need a couple things to be able to do this. First off, you're going to need some water to saturate the hair. It's going to give you the best control when you're using your shears. Sometimes if you're using shears and you're trying to dry cut the top, you're not going to get the right cut. You want to have control. You want to break those hydrogen bonds and really be able to stretch this hair out to its full potential. So we're going to saturate the hair with water. You're going to need a good comb. That way you can have the correct amount of tension as you're pulling this hair up to cut. And of course, you're going to need a good pair of shears. If your shears are too dull, it's just going to push the hair away. You need to make sure that you have good and nice sharp shears so you can get an accurate and nice cut across the hair. So the first thing I'm going to do to start off this cut is saturate the hair with water and really make sure that it's nice and evenly saturated. You definitely don't want to go in cutting, you know, certain sections that are dry and then you have other sections that are wet. You need to make sure that everything is evenly saturated so that way the cut is as accurate as possible. Just go ahead and get all the head saturated with water. Like so. I'm going to face this mannequin towards you guys so you guys can see exactly what I'm going to do. So the way I like to cut the top is I like to create a kind of middle section, and I call it a mohawk section, going straight down the middle and combing the rest of the hair down to the side. And this section doesn't need to be, you know, a huge section, just something that I can comfortably pick up and make sure that I'm cutting accurately. So you guys can see this kind of middle section going down the top of his head. And so now I'm gonna position him this way just so you guys can see as I pull this hair and what I'm actually cutting. So I'm gonna cut from the front to the back. Sometimes I like to cut from the back to the front so I know that everything is gonna be even this way, but to really show you guys a nice length being cut, I'm gonna start from the front. So I'm gonna grab my shears and my comb, and you need to have nice control over both of these tools, right? Because you're gonna be using them both in one hand as you're going through this. So this is called palming the shears. Whenever I'm not cutting, I'm gonna palm my shears, keep it away from my client's head, so I can reduce, you know, if I'm gonna injure the person. Obviously, you don't wanna injure your client. So palming the shears is super important, especially when I'm going in with this comb and trying to pick up new sections of hair. So I'm gonna use the thin teeth of my comb for this because I want to have a lot of tension when I'm pulling up this hair to cut. So I'm gonna grab a small section up front so you guys can see, and I'm gonna cut a bit of length off this just so you guys can see my guideline as I cut the top of this hair. And you guys, I'm over directing back from the forehead because I want to keep length in the front and have kind of like a brush over, comb over type of look. So I'm going to end up taking probably about an inch off. You guys can see this guideline through my fingers. I'm pulling up, I have tension, and I'm just going to cut that, and that's going to be the basis of the top of this head. That's going to be my guideline as I travel towards the back and do the rest of the top. So again, I'm going to pull up some more hair and I'm keeping that guideline as I go up. So here is my guideline and here's the rest of the hair that needs to be cut. So if I see anything that's going past that guideline, I'm just gonna cut across and match that up to that guideline as I go towards the back. Again, I find my guideline right here, and I cut anything that's overhanging past that guideline. And as I'm going back along this mannequin, I'm making sure that I have 90-degree projections. And what that means is 90 degrees from where the hair is protruding from the scalp. So right here on the top of the head, that's going to be 90 degrees this way. But as I go towards the back, that angle, the direction that the hair is going to change, right? So if I'm 90 here and I come back here, 90 wouldn't be this way. 90 would be projected off from this way from the head. So again, I'm just trying to find my guide, right? Here's my short spot, here's my long, and I'm just gonna cut off anything that I don't need. Right? And now, so we cut that guideline all the way to the back, and now it's time to match everything on the top. So now I'm gonna take my mohawk section and I'm gonna comb it to each side. I'm gonna comb it to my right, and I'm gonna comb it to my left. So I'm gonna start off with the right side, and I'm just gonna pull up a guideline from the middle where I was with my mohawk section. Right here, that's my guide, and I'm cutting off any bit of length that's hanging over that guideline, like so. And I'm gonna do that horizontally, traveling to the back of the head. Again, you wanna make sure that you have tension, and you also wanna make sure that you're not cutting anything if you don't find that guideline. That guideline is super important to make sure that you keep everything on the top even. So I find my guideline right here from the middle, and I'm cutting anything that doesn't match that guideline. Again, you don't have to make this super difficult. You're just matching up guidelines. That's why we put in that work at the beginning to create that guideline, so that way we can make sure that everything is gonna be even up top, right? And so that's kind of like a quick version of this. I just wanted to show you guys that you don't have to be scared to do a cut like this. It doesn't have to be super difficult. You don't have to worry about, how do I cut the top if you've never used shears before. This is as simple as I can make it for you guys. Just creating a guideline and finding that guideline. And whatever you do to this right side, again, you're gonna take that middle section and do it on the left side. So hopefully this kind of put it as basic as probably and simple as possible for you guys, so you guys can try it at home. But that's gonna do it for this video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment, and I'd love to answer them for you. But it's been Pico.Blurred. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Oh my god, is that Pico.Blurred?